Greetings and welcome to your February readings for the collective done by zodiac element signs. My name is Carolyn and I do these readings for you. These are broken down into 4 different sections done by zodiac elements. If you are wanting to jump to a specific section, you can look in the description and see where that starts. These are again for the collective, so some of the messages might resonate with you, some might not. You can listen just to your sun sign. I always recommend listening to your rising sign. You can go by something specific you're needing advice on and looking for the house or the planet that governs that energy. But I highly, highly suggest for these February 2026 readings that you just listen to the entire video open-minded, because there are some really beautiful, wonderful messages in this reading, regardless of your sign or your birth chart placement, that everybody could really benefit from hearing. I feel very called to tell you that. Spirit said so many messages in this are for everybody and that everybody should listen to this. So hopefully you will do so. All right, friends, we are starting off with air signs, and I am outside, and Father Wind is taking over, so I will be holding onto the card. Okay, so this is a new deck I am reading with. It is the Star Tarot. I'm super excited. And so we're going to see how this goes, see if things are a little bit different for me, because it's a new deck I'm connecting with. So we have the Ten of Wands for air signs. So we have Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So this is for your February energetic reading. The first thing I thought when I pulled this card was, it is time to lay down the burdens that are not yours. That is it. Like, I feel like this bear energy is coming in from behind because it's supporting you, right? So remember, when I choose decks to do readings, there's different information and different things that come across based off of like what I'm seeing. And so again, my first initial thought was, it is time to put down the burdens that are not yours to carry. And it is time to accept this support that is literally like right there behind you, right? Like this calming, grounding earth energy. You know, bear energy is energy of the West, and it very much, you know, bear energy knows when to work. It knows when to, you know, take everything and store it away for the winter. And that's why it can rest over the winter time, right? Because that's what hibernation is, right? That is leaning into bear energy. So it feels very much like bear energy is calling you for February to, you know, the original writer deck, this is like the person is holding 10 wands and they're like trekking along. And the Spirit says, lay it down. Literally lay it down. Like, you do not have to hold on to all these burdens. You do not have to, I mean, the goosebumps. You do not have to hold on to all these tasks. You do not have to hold on to all these thoughts. You do not have to carry the weight of the world. You do not have to carry the weight of 1,000 people. You do not have to carry the weight of the collective. You do not have to carry the weight of your family and your friends and all of these people and your clients. Like, lay it down and like give yourself a mental break, because here's the thing. If you don't, it's just going to keep piling on and it's going to get worse, and there's going to be a crash. Did you see that big thing of smoke come across? You need to take this time for yourself. You need to go inward. You need to lay it down. You need to stop investing yourself in social media and the energy of others and the fate of the world. Like, we can only do so much, and we have to protect our nervous system, and we have to protect self. I just did a beautiful post of these graphics on my Facebook where it talked about like, you can care about the world and you can also like care about yourself. And, you know, personally, I do daily energy work, sending work to the collective. I do daily energy work and prayer, and I send love to, you know, just the different things and the people, the places that are happening in the world. Am I going to go to a protest? I'm not, because energetically, physically, my nervous system can't handle that. Energetically and spiritually, like my soul and my body like can't handle that. Like, it's too much for me. Like, I literally I'm not built for that, like emotionally, mentally, and physically, like for many reasons. And I honor and I know those things about myself. That doesn't mean that I don't show up for my collective. That doesn't mean I don't show up using my voice. That doesn't mean I don't do work and do things to pour into people and environments and causes that need it, right? And so that's a message for you. Like, you're allowed to take a step back and still care and take care of yourself. And you already have so many thoughts and so many things going on. Like, you can't carry. It just keeps the same thing over and again. You cannot carry so much. You cannot carry so much. And if you allow yourself to take this break now, then you can wean back into life in March. And then when spring sprung at the end of our spring equinox, you'll feel whole again, right? You'll feel different. So there's something about transmuting the way that, and changing the way that you're carrying the energy and the way that you're caring for others and the way that you're showing up for the collective. Again, like this bear energy in the back, I just love how it's really supportive. So it's also this energy of like, you know, the Ten of Wands is very much about like dictating work, not dictating work, how should I say that? Distributing work, right? Like, like letting people help you, letting other people take the reins, letting other people like take things away off your plate. So I feel like this is spirit saying like you have support from the spirit world, you have support from ancestors, you can call on your divine guidance team, you can call on your angels. If there's something in particular you need, Google what archangel helps with this, and then ask that archangel to come work with you. What ascended master works for this? Ask that ascended master to come work with you. Just literally blatantly say like ancestors, loved ones, like my divine spirit team, like everybody that is in it for like my highest good, that is like taking care of me from the highest divine light. Like I ask that you come and support me at this time. Like whatever prayer that you need to do it. But like Spirit says, like we are here to support you. Stop carrying these burdens alone. Stop carrying the burdens that are not yours to carry. Put it down, rest, take care of yourself. You cannot give from an empty cup. And stop letting all this outside influence. It's literally like fucking with your energy and it's like your physical body. It's like I can feel it in your physical body on the outside, and it's making you a fucking crazy person. So you gotta relax, you gotta clear it, you gotta release it, you gotta take some time away, you gotta curl up in a ball and just like breathe and like stop letting the collective shit show of the world weigh on you right now. So that is for air signs, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And if you are not one of those signs and you are listening to this, then that clearly is a message for the collective in general. I believe that very truly. All right, my beautiful water signs, we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This is a major arcana card. This is the devil. This is not a scary card. The devil is about our vices. It is about the things that hold us back. It is about our addictions. It is about our bad habits. It's about like the parts of us that are like being shackled, right? Like I just want to keep saying like our vices, like this is a very different depiction of it too, because it's interesting how like the masculine and the feminine, they're separated, right? They're like in their own little cocoons. It almost feels like there is a part of ourself that is being cut off from like our divine masculine or feminine counterpoint as like a form of self-protection, right? So like when we, and I can speak to this for personal experience, right? Like say it as a female, a woman, like you had a lot of experiences that caused you to become independent by default. You were pushed into your masculine energy because of abuse, because of abandonment, whatever it is, right? You are more comfortable in that masculine energy because it's a form of self-protection, right? You are cutting yourself off from really truly being in that receiving divine feminine energy. That is the energy of the devil card, right? Like that is a vice. That is a bad habit. That is I keep going back to this masculine, self-protected, competitive, like I don't fucking need anybody, even if it doesn't come across that way, right? Like I used to be that way, and now it's very subtle in me, but it still like lies in part of me that like I don't trust people. And I always like, even like if anybody in my life comes back or starts talking to me, I always think like, well, what could be like the negative part? Like what could they be trying to get over on me, right? Like that is very like protective energy, and that is not allowing the feminine in, that is not allowing the receiving in, right? So it feels very much like this is the thing, the shackle that is holding you down, water signs, right? It's this energy of like not allowing this flow between the masculine and the feminine, not allowing the balance. And so Spirit is saying like, okay, first off, it feels like things might be coming up in February that are triggering this, right? Like this month, like things might be coming up. So the Spirit is saying like, look at this. Look at when you get triggered and you get hyper feminine, where it's like oohing and awing and, being overcompensating and taking care of two people. We're talking about like, we're talking about the unhealthy parts of masculine and feminine energy. We're not talking about the healthy parts. Okay. Let me emphasize that, because both masculine and feminine energy both have like what healthy looks like and what unhealthy looks like. So we're talking about, this is the devil card, right? This is these unhealthy habits. So, where are you getting triggered? When you're overcompensating, when you're overgiving, when you're overpouring, when you're over-explaining, when you're over-apologizing, when you're over-helping, where you're inserting yourself where you shouldn't, where you're taking things personal where you shouldn't. That is the negative side of feminine energy. So where can you stop? Where can you reel it in? Where can you say, this is not my place to serve. This is not my place to help. This is not my feelings, my pain, my things to take on, my things to carry. It is not my job to fix that person, right? Reel it back in. Be aware this month. Look at those things. And this applies to whatever gender you are, whatever you identify as, your sexuality, anything, right? Like, so when we talk about like masculine and feminine, those are non-binary, right? This applies to anybody across the board. So like this applies to men and women, non-binary, everything, right? So please don't let the terminology or like the words that I use, whether that like whichever way that goes, bother you at all. And I said that at 333 on my timer. So in the same with like, you know, because men and women both do these things. And then we also get like to the masculine energy, like be aware, like, are you being too reactive versus responsive? Where are you finding your ego being ego driven? Where are you finding your ego being triggered? Where are you finding the need to be fucking competitive? Where are you snapping at people? Where are you not allowing? Where are you being too forceful? Where are you being too aggressive going after things? Where are you not pausing and allowing things to come to you? Where are you not being open-minded and allowing other viewpoints and really sitting with it and listening to people, right? This is a big thing. Listening. We are not listening to respond is not the same thing as listening to comprehend and to have a conversation back and forth, right? If there are certain things that you cannot have a conversation on when it comes to like political or human rights things, Spirit says don't have the fucking conversation then. Because if you cannot approach a conversation from a peaceful, grounded ability to see both places and say, okay, I understand where you're coming from, I understand what's happening, then don't fucking have the conversation, you know? I had to have a really hard conversation with somebody I care about deeply because the way that they express their viewpoints does not come across as a reflection of their heart. And so I was able to go into this conversation and say like, hey, like these things that you post on social media, these things that you say, I know that you don't mean them at the core root of hate, right? Like I know like that's not what your heart means, and there's a confusion. And even though this person, they tried to explain, we tried to have a conversation, they were continuing not to like pick up what I was putting down. I was able to stay calm and rooted in my beliefs and honoring them and not getting triggered and trying to see it from their point of view and just saying like, I get that you don't understand what I'm saying and like, that's okay. There's a very different conversation than arguing with somebody on social media. Stop doing that. Literally, Spirit says like, you get too emotionally involved. I do the same thing. I'm guilty of it, right? Like, when people are angry and they're mad, they're not at the highest reflection of themselves, and they're not going to be able to receive messages. You're wasting your fucking time. So literally in February, fucking stop. I'm saying it that way to hear it for myself. Stop. So February, water signs, be aware of your fucking triggers that are in the negative side of these polarities and reel it the fuck back in and stop. I just get this whole energy of like, just stop. Just chill. It's kind of, air energy has the same message but for a different way, and it has to do with like your emotions and like getting upset about things because you feel so deeply and passionately, which is important, but take it out of your mouth and out of the typewriter and send it up to God in your prayers or put it in your fucking journal, right? Like that's the difference. Anytime you want to say it to another person, God says, say it to me, say it to the journal, say it to your spirit guides, say it to whoever, you know what I mean? It's interesting because I don't use the word God a lot, but like that literally God is saying like, give it to me, give me those words, give me that pain, give me that hate, give me that anger, like scream it to me. And then be calm and journal, and we can transmute it and we can figure out like what are the next steps that you could take, you know. One more thing, my dear mother years ago was very upset by things happening in the world, and she stopped and said, I can't, like my energy is wasted being angry and doing this. I can't help the world. I can't do anything by being angry and mad. What can I do to transmute this energy and put it into something that's the opposite and to make me feel good, right? And that's what she did. She found something, a causes that she could believe in, that she could support, that she could go and put work and her time and energy into, so she could take that anger and that rage and put it into something fucking positive. And that is what God and Spirit are saying for you, water signs, for February. All right, earth signs, this is your message for February. We have Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This is the Seven of Swords. And what's so funny is that I just did an unboxing for this. If I have another video on that if you want to go see the whole deck. And I was talking about how when I saw this, it did things for me and it changed my perspective on the Seven of Swords. And I was like, I think this is a really beautiful thing for me. I want to look at this reflection. Look at that. That is so cool, you guys. So, earth signs. This... First off, I'm going to read in this little book the way that she describes the art of this card because I think it's very important. I think that there's something going on here that's speaking to you. But, you know, this Seven of Swords, like it can have a very negative connotation behind it, right? And it can be like a card of trickery. And the message that is really coming through is almost like where like a need for, it's about yourself. It's not about other people. It's about like, where can you make adjustments in your life and change things when it comes to like your mental and spiritual habits and thoughts. Um, like it just feels like there's a shift in mindset that really needs to be happening. It feels like we really need to let go of old patterns and relationships, and like allow like new energy to come in with like your thoughts and your systems and the way that you're thinking and the way that you're moving and the way that you're doing things. And like these old outdated, you're fooling yourself, right? It's like these old outdated habits of your thoughts and the way that you think things and the way that dig your fucking feet in and think things have to be a certain way. Like it's not serving you anymore, right? Like it feels like there are certain parts of your life that you're struggling with conflict and frustration, and it feels like there are certain parts of your life and it feels like you don't have control, and that whether that's like the outside world and like feeling like you don't have control over the outside world. Also, if you're just listening to this part, please go listen to the whole thing, because I feel like there's really important messages in this whole reading for the collective, especially in the very first part of this reading. But it feels like, whether it's the collective energy or whether it's internal or whether it's, work or a certain relationship, or like the way that you move through, like I'm so tired of this pattern with friends, or I'm so tired of this pattern with food, I'm so tired of this pattern with these thoughts about my body. But it's like, when are you going to be tired enough that you make it fucking change? Like, when are you? And it's not even that it doesn't even feel like, oh, I don't want to deal with the hurt and the pain and like the healing aspect. It's like, fuck that. That's not even the part. It's more like your ego and like conversations you have to have with other people and like the way that other people view you. That's more what you're worried about not wanting to change. And that's coming from a very stubborn, egotistical type of place. Like, Spirit is like, you can handle the emotions and the feelings and the shit that will arise by confronting these. You just don't want to deal with the people and the I told you so energy. So I actually want to read from this book because I want to read about the imagery, because I think there's an important message in it. So in the image of the Seven of Swords, the white stag is calling one to a spiritual quest. In mythology, the stag is seen as a magical creature who leads you into your destiny. The color white reflects peace, love, purity, and the cleansing of your soul. The stars represent clarity and the dreams that can be achieved. 2 swords stand upright along the stag. 1 sword represents the wisdom and the other the heart. The pool of water represents our subconscious. The boulders along the shoreline represent outdated thoughts, patterns, beliefs, known or repressed, that can impede our progress toward the light. Well, there you go. The sword that plunges into the water symbolizes the will to take action. The 4 swords in the pool represent the struggles and confusion that need to be sorted out. The fishes stirring the water of the subconscious, allowing new and creative insights to come to the surface. And the green lily floating on the surface are flashes of intuition that draw our eyes downwards so we may gaze through a mirror into the hidden parts of ourself. So if any of those really stuck out with you, like the imagery, like think to be like, what did you look at first? What did you go to? Like, I feel like that's an extra underlining message for you. But Spirit is just asking you to do an overhaul of your thoughts and your systems and looking at whatever. Maybe you need a journal, right? Maybe you need to do like a little bubble. And it's like, what are the parts, where are the patterns that I see myself getting stuck? Like, where am I? You're blocking your own shit by like this ego stubbornness and like unwillingness to change your belief systems and to like see things from a different perspective and allow things in. I'm going to use this example. I have one of my absolute best friends in the entire world, and we have very, very, very different belief systems when it comes to political and even some human rights things. And this person is the only person in my life that has such extreme views that are different than mine that I keep in my life, and I choose to keep in my life. First off, because I know this person's heart very much, and I know their soul, and I just do know that they're a wonderful, loving, great, amazing human being. But also because when we do talk about these things, I am able to understand why they feel the way that they do and why they see things from the point of view that they do. Very much so. Even if I don't agree with it, even if I wish that they could understand my viewpoint and why, not that it would trump their viewpoint, but why my viewpoint makes more sense and they would come to my side. But I'm able to listen to them and read the things they say, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah, I understand why you feel that way. Just because I don't think they should feel that way, that's a different question. So you're understanding that part? You can look at people and understand why they have the viewpoints they do, why they feel the way they do, why they act the way they do. And you do this for you so you can release the anger and the resentment and the pain towards them, not so you can change them, not so you could fix them, not so you can, form some different relationship. So you could look at them, make peace with it, and move the fuck on and let go of that anger and that rage and that turmoil so you can free yourself. Okay? Earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Man, these messages this month, they are, I'm telling you, this deck is doing something for me. So, like, do it for yourself. You're not doing this for other people. You're doing it for yourself. All right, we have our fire signs, Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries. So this is the Three of Pentacles, and this is the most beautiful depiction of this card. I think I'm going to do the same thing that I did for one of the other cards. I'm actually going to read you what the symbols mean on this, like what the artist meant whenever she painted it. So if your eyes are going to anything, if anything is really standing out, kind of take note about that. So, Pentacles, it is earth energy, but what's really coming forward is this idea of like, what are the things that you pour yourself into, the projects, the work that you do that really set you alive, that bring you like abundance, right? Like what's a passion project? Like what is like your heart's true calling for work? It just feels like if you look at this card, like it's about, creativity, it's about working together, right? It's about working with other people. And I'm even seeing like the 3 like eggs below. So it just feels like February is a very creative month for you. It's about, if any of you like work with spirit, it feels like it's a great opportunity. Like this isn't it doesn't have 3 people in it like the other one card, right? Like the original card where it's 3 people working together. It's like you and spirit, right? So it feels like you're very spirit led with your creativity, like channeling art, coming up with like a new, like diving like a new divination skill with like this different kind of like energy coming in to support you, like maybe animal guides or anything like that. Like, it feels like we've like laid an egg and like we're like nurturing like this thing that is like beautiful creativity to us and like mind expanding. It feels like you're co-creating with spirit, right? And it's really about focusing on like, again, like what projects, what work, where can you put your time and your energy that really is helping things grow for you and really sets things on fire for you and really like feels good to you. Like it's a time to nurture those things, right? Like I know it sounds silly, but like think like, what is my true calling? Like that's a really great thing to journal on, right? And it means like, and I don't say these terms often, right? But it's like life's work, right? Like what is my life's work? What is my legacy? What do I want to be remembered for? What is important to me that I show up? Like what if I died tomorrow and like the things that were left behind by me and people could see that and they knew like, what did I build? What did I grow? What was I known for? I'll tell you, me personally, the events that I host, the content that I've produced, I'm proud of that. I am so proud of the community that I have built around the KC Mystic Fair and the St. Louis Mystic Fair, that if I died tomorrow and that was my legacy and the way that I made people feel in that and the way I helped build my community and my fellow practitioners, fuck yeah, I'd be so proud of that, right? So like for you, like what is that for you? Do you have a dream job? Like if a thought or an idea, if something is put in your heart and your mind, like it wouldn't be there if you couldn't achieve it, right? Like the question, like, why are you not working towards this? Why are you not trying to make those your reality? Also a great question to ask yourself. I might have mentioned this in a previous reading, would be like, if you didn't have to worry about money at all, we're talking like multi-billionaire, like you didn't have to worry about money at all, what would you do? Like, because I used to tell myself that, and then I thought, if I had endless money, I would open a really cool metaphysical shop that had readers and maybe a house healer and I'd buy so much cool shit and I could sell it for such a great price and I could hold space for all these people to make money out for themselves because I don't have to worry about money. But I love that. I'm passionate about that. I love having a beautiful collective space like that for the people in my community, right? So like, what would you do? Let's read about the imagery. So in the image of the Three of Pentacles, the goddess of creation wears the crown of the moon cycles. The sun, also I'm doing this reading on January 31st to post tomorrow on the 1st, and it's a full moon tomorrow. Just going to throw that in there. Where's the crown of the moon cycle in the wind blue? Thank you, Father Wind. The sun, divine energy, is the center, is overlapped by the full moon. Ooh, like I said tomorrow, illumination, bringing inspired vision through the heart and imagination. The three turtles symbolize Mother Earth, triple goddess, and the body, mind, and spirit. The goddess's turtle shell crest displays spirals of eternity and creation. The goddess focuses on the three golden eggs in her nest. She is working with the energies of the divine creativity, aligning the mind, body, and spirit, symbolized by the magical string of straws swirling around her in the nest. The star energy has activated her third eye, giving her deep insight and vision. The three golden eggs symbolize wishes, dreams, and ideas being nurtured and blessed. The rainbow behind represents the bridge between heaven and earth and the unity of humanity. So, February for you is very much a spirit-led creative time and space, and dreaming big and feeling into your heart space and your sacral and your solar plexus that are lighting up like these three centers for me, and really like allowing yourself to expand and to dream and to like, you know, take all that fiery energy that you have and that creative energy and put it in the direction of, I just like your legacy and like what you really stand for and what you want to work for, and like connect with spirit, whatever that means for you, whether it's going out to Mother Earth and putting your feet in the ground and holding a tree and talking to the tree and letting the tree give you advice, whether it's going to be with a horse and, you know, riding a horse or petting a horse and like listening to an animal talk to you, like whether it's going to the Buddhist temple and meditating, whether it's going to church and praying and singing in the choir, like whatever that is, like spirit says, like find the way that you like divinely connect with us, and then like allow us to like channel that creativity and that advice and those words and that information for you. So this was for you, fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. And I just said this, the last couple of people, if you just, or sections I should say, if you scrolled ahead and just listen to fire signs, I highly encourage you, if you never do this with another reading, go back and listen to this reading from the beginning, because I feel very strongly that every section in this is really important information and a lot of great messages that everybody in the collective needs to hear right now. Friends, thank you so much for being here. If there's anybody that you think could benefit from these, please share them with them. And also, it really means a lot to me for your support. If you could like, share, subscribe, anything to get the word out there about my page and the work that I do for the collective, it would be greatly appreciated. Also, make sure to check out my Aquarius season readings. And remember that I do these every month, at the beginning of the month and at the end of the month when we change zodiac signs. So subscribe so you don't miss a reading. Thank you.